TRW, Crusades 2, Battle of Hob. Still just getting started. The battle's just getting started. It is the second player or Crusader melee combat phase. I'm going to go through this in some detail. I feel like it's been a while since I've done so. So first step, attacker announces which combat units are attacking and which enemy combats will be attacked. We have just one right now, just one melee for this turn. And so I declare this Crusader Heavy Cavalry is going to melee this Turkish bow horse unit or mounted bow unit right there. All right, attacking coming units, check their morale. So my it's a 7 morale there for the Crusader Heavy Cavalry. And luckily they passed it, otherwise this would have been incredibly boring. Yeah, so they passed their morale check. Units which pass morale check must attack. Okay, and then we go to the third step. Cavalry units which have a retreat or stand command and which are about to be attacked by infantry may now retreat. Now, this is a defending cavalry unit, mounted unit. Its current order is an attack order. That's his commander over there. It's the yellow formation. So he is under an attack command. So that just doesn't apply. Then skirmish units being attacked by cavalry units can roll to withdraw before melee. That's not the case here. This is mounted bow, but not skirmisher unit. Yeah, and then we go on to step 4. Units defending against attackers who have passed their morale check now check their morale. So the Turkish mounted bow unit there has a morale of 6. And good, he passes his morale check, so he is in, he's committed. If they fail the morale check, they rout. They rout and are moved, I should say, in this case. They rout and are moved back 3 hexes. They retreat 3 hexes. Defending units that pass their morale accept combat. So both sides are in, they're committed. Now both players total the combat strength of their units involved. So combat strength is 4 attacking, 2 defending. So 4 to 2, which means that they're going to be using different columns on the melee table. And then each player rolls a die. So that's going to be the, unfortunately, that's the Crusader combat. And the defender rolls a 5. So each side rolls. The results are modified by leader combat bonus. We don't have any leaders involved. Well as by terrain, there's no terrain to speak of. It's just clear, flat. Command chits, so the defender doesn't get an advantage with an attack command in the defense. Is that redundant? Baldwin is standing. Baldwin, the commander of this unit, has a stand command, which doesn't help an attacking unit. So cavalry with an attack command get +1 while attacking. Infantry with an attack command get +1 while attacking. Defending combat units of all types with a stand command get +1 die roll modifier. So it's all off, right? So the defender has the attack command, doesn't help him. The attacker has a stand command, doesn't help him. So actually there are no modifiers. Alright, obviously it's going to be no result, but this is how it's actually done. So this is the melee table. Again, the Crusaders have a strength of 4, so he will resolve on the 4 to 6 column, but he rolled a 3, no modifiers. 3 on the 4 to 6 column is nothing. Similarly, the defender has a 2 strength and rolled a 5, so he's going to resolve on the 1 to 3 strength column, but 5 is no result as well. Alright, so that's step 5, kind of resolution. Then you go to step 6, morale checks, as required are now made. And then if defending combat units vacate the hex, at least one attacking unit must advance. Then you go to step 7, charging Crusader heavy cavalry. Units that were attacking and advanced may now move up to 4 movement points, and then they can attack a unit in their frontal zones, doing a whole nother melee procedure. So basically, it's a short move and a second attack if eligible, and that's melee. I'll just go ahead and continue on with the Crusaders here. We're going to go into the rally phase, so second player rally phase, in this case Crusader for this scenario. I want to make something really clear, and I hope I didn't do something wrong earlier. This is very important and it's something that needs to be remembered at all times. A unit is only required, this is how it's worded. Units make only 1 morale check per type of combat phase, that is fire or melee, even if required to make more than 1 check. So if I fired here and this unit needed to make and the result is morale check, and he passes his morale check, and then I fire with this unit here, if I get a morale check again, I hope I didn't do that wrong before, but he does not check morale again, because he already checked once for fire combat in the same fire combat phase. That was the offensive fire phase. So what that means is, if you want to fire again, you can, but you're looking for a 1 result. Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. I never thought about that. Wow, this is amazing how things keep coming up. This is amazing. So if he fires and he gets a morale check. And this unit, let's say, passes the morale check. Then this unit fires and gets a 1 result. You flip it over for the 1 result. Does he check morale for the 1 result? I always assumed he did because but he already passed a morale check. Oh, I see. I guess you could say it's all simultaneous, but that is definitely something to pay attention to. I know that in the past I would have thought that he does check morale for the 1 result, but he's already checked morale in that phase. So, well, no, you still have the step loss result, but I have no idea what to think about that rule then. For example, if a unit in the course of a single fire combat phase were required to make 3 checks, it would in fact only have to make 1. Never thought about that. I guess you can say it's all the I guess it's simultaneous action. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, rally. Never thought about that. I don't remember that ever coming up. Maybe it did way back in the beginning when I started with Royalists and Roundheads. Okay, so rally. We definitely have the rally here. So, rally is, where is it? Yeah, 2 steps as well. So the second player is going to attempt to rally eligible units. So this unit is eligible because there it is. So this is the recovery phase. Do they carry the? Yeah, they do. This thing was never completely edited. Never completely edited. This carries the same discrepancy between recovery versus rally. That's there from the very beginning. Unbelievable. During the recovery phase, also known as the rally phase, of each game turn, routed units within the command span of their leader. So he's within Baldwin's, which is his formation leader and his overall leader. So within his command span of 7. And not in enemy Zog, check morale. And they finally dropped the confusing wording. It says they check morale. It's not an option. It's not voluntary. So he has a morale of 7, but you add 1 for a routed unit, and he fails. So he rolled 8 plus 1 for being routed, which was always an odd thing, but I'm not likely to forget that again. So if the result is greater than the morale rating, they continue to route and are retreated 3 hexes. So 1, 2, 3. And that's it. It's the only... Okay, and then the second step of this phase is the other player, so in this case the Turkish player would see starting on game turn 5, which wasn't there in Royalist and Roundheads, but here, starting on game turn 5, the first player, in this case, is going to check to see if they start rolling on the victory table.